Battle through the firmament. Great world. Chapter 415 The Restless Night. Kang Feng, how's your cultivation going? When Shang Shaoshan finished analyzing the situation, Shi Kanghai suddenly noticed something. He looked toward a tightly shut door. This fellow had been cultivating in seclusion ever since he arrived, treating the place as his personal training ground. He wants to use this opportunity to break through. If he succeeds, he will be the first student in the history of Star Sky Academy to break through to the Emperor cultivation level. It will be a first-class honor passed down through generations in the Academy's history. After hearing Shang Shaoshan's words, Wu Tiandu let out a cold laugh, a trace of helplessness in his eyes. This guy was too powerful. With the support of the Kang family, his strength had skyrocketed like a rocket. Emperor cultivation. Upon hearing these two words, Shi Kanghai instantly gasped softly, then laughed loudly and said, if he really breaks through to Emperor cultivation, all the students here might not be able to defeat him even if they join forces. With his strength, he will definitely be the top rank this time. I just wonder what kind of power someone with such high standards will choose to serve, Wu Tiandu muttered to himself. Faction. The Kang clan is a major clan waiting for him to take over. Why would he be interested in other forces? Shang Hao laughed when he heard this. As a disciple of one of the four major families, he was quite familiar with Kang Feng. No, big brother, you are wrong. Shang Shaoshan smiled and shook his head. The two of us are branch family members of the Shang clan. We may envy the position of patriarch, but Kang Feng is the eldest son of the Kang family. He might not be interested in the patriarch position like Shang Yu. Shang Shaoshan felt immense pressure when he thought of the domineering man he had met before. This pressure far exceeded anything he felt from Kang Feng or the other academy elders. Shang Hao muttered to himself and fell silent. In the Shang clan, that name had become a symbol of strength. Even in the battle domain where killing was limitless, the owner of that name was a pride to all. The rivalry among the four major families has been going on for a long time. If the Shang clan can produce a peerless genius like Shang Yu, it might regain its former glory. Remembering the words of that mysterious expert in illusory spirit space, Shang Hao felt a surge of excitement. If the Shang clan were to prosper, there would be a place for them even in the greater world. If that's the case, we must win this competition. Taking a deep breath, Shang Hao said in a deep voice, his eyes filled with intense fighting spirit. Although he and Shang Shaoshan were both from side branches of the Shang clan, their blood relation was already distant. Now, as the chosen one of Star Sky Academy, if his faction wanted to rise within the Shang clan, they must make a name for themselves in this widely watched competition. In an ordinary inn in Star Moon Town, the young man who had come with the fat old man stood straight in front of the window. He gazed at the undulating mountain range in the distance, silent for a moment, before finally speaking. Teacher, what is the taboo of Star Moon Island? The fat old man had just finished a meal and was lying on the bed with a red face. Hearing the young man's question, he replied, it's rumored that Star Moon Island is a passage connecting the star domain and the heavens. As for what it truly is, no one knows. The heavens, the place where the star domain guardian resides. The young man had evidently heard the old man mention the star domain guardian. Before, he nodded lightly, his gaze leaping over the layers of clouds as if seeing through the horizon. Boom! At that moment, a bolt of purple lightning flashed across the sky. Dark clouds immediately covered the heavens, and a heavy rain poured down instantly, blocking the young man's view. It's raining. The young man retracted his gaze. His face was expressionless, but he felt an indescribable emotion. The Star Domain Guardian was one of the most powerful figures in the entire Star Domain, overseeing countless sects and families. No one could match that glory. Star Domain Guardian? No, from now on, I want to be the Domain Lord of this star field. Madness surged in the young man's eyes, and the aura within his body swelled. He was practically roaring furiously in his heart. Back in the lower realm, He was the fighting monarch, the ancestor of his sect. Yet, he had spent his entire life unable to control the entire continent, held back by lifelong rivals. Now, with the sect behind him as a starting point and his unparalleled mentality, he would shine with renewed brilliance. Zhou Yuan's name will once again resound throughout this great world. Outside the window, the heavy rain poured down with intense sounds. Inside the room, the youth lowered his head, his eyes nearly mad with determination. Rumble, furious dragon-like purple lightning resounded across the sky. Gloomy dark clouds covered the entire island. Torrential rain poured down like a waterfall, as if the end of the world had arrived. Crack, several figures flashed through the heavy rain. Their speed was extremely fast. In moments, they had left Star Moon Town and stopped at the entrance of the mountain range. The rainstorm was intense. The moment the rain landed on these people, it quietly vanished. A closer look would reveal they were among the dozens who had arrived at Star Moon Island on a warship early that morning. Marquis Ziyi, you agreed the most back then, yet now you are the first to come. A sharp voice was heard. The speaker was a charming girl from the 100 Immortals Valley in the Star Domain, her strength at the peak of Emperor cultivation. My lady, you are mistaken. Star Moon Island has some reputation even in the greater world. It isn't under the Saint Ruins of the Saint Heaven Realm's Saint Heaven Gate. I was ordered by the sect master to come here only for inspection. The purple-robed Marquis's voice was thunderous, and he did not seem to mind at all. I've long heard that Star Moon Island is unusual. Tonight's rainstorm is the perfect opportunity for us. Those old fogies know nothing. With our strength, we can make our way through. A thin middle-aged man spoke in a deep voice. The man was as thin as a stick, his eyebrows slightly red, and his eyes blood-red. Clearly, he had cultivated a special technique from the Mingyan Divine Domain's Underworld Hall. Old Ghost is right. Although this is a forbidden place on Star Moon Island, there must be something related to the heavens inside. As long as we obtain one thing, our trip will not be in vain. A bald man with one eye spoke fiercely, his remaining eye revealing endless greed. The heavens, where the Star Domain Guardian resided, the Protector's domain. Any item from there could cause their strength to skyrocket. All right, this time, the few of us will join forces and charge in. A cold gaze turned toward the towering mountains ahead. The purple-clothed Marquis laughed loudly. As his robes fluttered, the group rushed into the mountains. Boom, boom. A few purple thunderbolts flashed across the sky as they charged into the mountains, nearly tearing the sky apart. The moment the clouds overlapped, a vague shadow of a huge formation flickered and vanished. Sigh. At the same time, Old Man Chang, far away in Star Moon Town, slowly opened his eyes. His eyebrows trembled slightly, and he let out a long sigh. He stood up from his bamboo chair and walked slowly to the window, gazing at the pouring rain without a word. The night seemed to have grown restless with the rainstorm and raging wind. The ink-black island seemed shrouded by gloomy clouds. The rainstorm poured down like the end of the world. Amid the downpour, a few miserable screams seemed to rise from the storm, soon drowned out by the rain. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.